What's going on, everybody? This is Travis from Candid at the Movies, and today I'll be giving you the top 10 Kevin Smith films. If you are a fan of Kevin Smith, he is one of the guys that has definitely made nerd culture more and more popular than what it was back in the day. Nerds used to get looked down on, but his movies definitely embraced the nerd culture, and more than anything, it made some classic movies and a lot of moments that you can never forget. And here are my top 10 Kevin Smith films. Number 10 is Red State. Now, I will definitely say Red State is something that is not the normal Kevin Smith film. It is a dark horror film about three guys that are looking to get sex, and then they ultimately run into this cult of a church where a big war goes out between them and the FBI. Now, I will definitely say, is this Kevin Smith's best film? No. But I will say for what it is, he took a chance, and more than anything, it shows that he is willing to take risks in movies, get out of his normal wheelhouse, and definitely do something different, and I definitely appreciate this movie for that. Number 9 is Clerks 3. Now, Clerks 3 is a really great cap off to the Clerks film franchise, and more than anything, it's a lot more emotional than you would honestly expect it to get. It definitely does deal with friendships as you get older, different factors that happen in life, and how it affects you. And I definitely appreciate that film, and more than anything, it does give you a couple of moments where you will tear up, and I definitely feel more than anything with Kevin Smith's life-threatening sickness that he had at that time, it definitely reflects that, and he definitely put together a great film. Number 8, Jay and Silent Bob reboot. We all love Jay and Silent Bob, and definitely seeing the reboot of them going back through and seeing Chronic and Blunt Man getting their own Hollywood-based film as a reboot. It was funny to see the tongue-in-cheek jokes, bringing back a lot of the View Askewniverse characters, even if they were just in the background. Seeing them brought together was definitely something fun, and definitely seeing a lot of the characters growing up and dealing with things as older adults was a great thing to see, and seeing everybody just make progress in life was a good thing to watch. Number 7, Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Now, I would definitely say Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks have that great comedic banter back and forth throughout this whole movie. It's a funny film, and more than anything, if you're just a person that likes raunchy comedies, this is right there for you. You're gonna have a good time. A lot of great people were cast in this film, even if for big roles like Craig Robinson to small roles like Katie Morgan, Brandon Routh, and Justin Long. Moments in this movie are definitely unforgettable, and it definitely makes you appreciate everything that they go through in this film and in the love story. Number 6 is Mallrats. Mallrats, to some people, is the perfect film. A lot of people feel like seeing the craziness of what happened in the 90s during the mall, at a food court, and all of the other crazy things that happen in this story is something that just pretty much solidifies the 90s. And I can't disagree with them more than anything, because this is definitely a lifetime that I feel a lot of people missed out on, especially if you're younger. You don't know how cool malls used to be, how much they used to stand out, and definitely how people working in the mall have their own life, and basically how everything connects to one another. I definitely feel that this is a good film, and more than anything, it makes you a big fan of Brody. Number 5 is The Clerks 2. Now, I can definitely say I saw Clerks 2 before I saw Clerks 1, and after I saw Clerks 1, Clerks 2 is still up there for me, because I feel like this movie had its own universe, if that makes sense. Even with it being in the View Askewniverse, Clerks 2 just felt like its own thing outside of just not being at their usual place. They're being at movies. It was a whole lot more that you could spread out there with different people that come into a restaurant compared to a convenience store. And I definitely feel that this was something that ultimately is a long forgotten comedy of the 2000s that people just throw to the wayside and forget. But this was definitely a really good film. Number 4 is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Now, this was a film I can definitely say anybody in the early 2000s, especially in high school or middle school, watched this film religiously, because it played on Comedy Central all the time. There are moments in this film you're never going to forget, moments that you're just going to be quoting randomly, even if it's just the introduction of the little baby saying the F word. Those are moments you'll always remember, and more than anything, you definitely can appreciate all of the random people that are in this movie. You have Ben Affleck, Will Ferrell, Mark Hamill, Eliza Dushku, a whole lot more that are all in this film, all while you still have Jay and Silent Bob. It's a classic film. Number 3 is the original Clerks. Without Clerks, you wouldn't have anything without Kevin Smith, because this film, set in 1994, definitely pigeonholed 1994 as one movie. Everything that you see in this movie, you can definitely relate to no matter where you live. You saw people that were doing these things, acting this way, and even talking raunchy and hearing conversations that you probably shouldn't hear in a convenience store. This is definitely something that is ultimately one of the top 90s films for comedies, and I definitely say anybody that loves this film will love anything set like this. Number 2 is Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy is definitely the romantic comedy that makes everybody kind of put themselves in the place of everything, wanting to see how they would take these situations. Would you keep going for this girl that obviously isn't for you since she is a lesbian? Or would you just move on about your life even though you have a love for certain things and a love for one another? It's definitely a good film, and I feel more than anything, it definitely showed how endearing Kevin Smith's movies can be, and more than anything, they will make them relatable, even if you feel like you're not related to the subject. And the number 1 film for Kevin Smith films, I always will say, is Dogma. Dogma is a film more than anything, even if you are religious or not religious, you're gonna have an opinion on, just because of how crazy the story is and definitely how other people view different things in life. It definitely was something that I can say I viewed it a lot, it played on TV a lot, and I know a lot of people that either loved it or they just had different opinions, and it made me appreciate having those conversations with people that have a different viewpoint of mine. And more than anything, this movie was hilarious. It was random, and even seeing people like Salma Hayek and Chris Rock doing these very religious roles and seeing how they put an early 2000s spin on everything was a real cool thing to watch. And that's why I say Dogma is one of Kevin Smith's best films. But hey, do you agree with this list? Comment below, let me know what you thought about it. Would you replace something? Would you add something? I'd love to know all what you think. This is Travis from Candid at the Movies. Leave us a like, leave us a comment, and subscribe. Catch y'all later. Peace.